All right. Good evening, crypto family, crypto nation. This is Justin Blount here on behalf of the Crypto Tutors platform to give you another cryptocurrency analysis. I know it's been a little while, so I thank everybody for being here. Thank you for tuning in if you're just joining. It is March 13th at 6 p.m. And on today's episode, we are going to be analyzing Terra Luna, Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, and the dog pound coins. Well, I should say the dog coins. DOGECOIN and SHIBA INU. Our last stream that we did, we analyzed the first top 10. So if we come over here to the cryptocurrency market cap, we reviewed Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, XRP, and Cardano. But interestingly, Cardano has just been flipped by Terra Luna. Now, Terra Luna actually is the top 7th cryptocurrency in the world by market cap, overtaking, like I said, Cardano. Now Terra is a $33 billion cryptocurrency. But for the remainder of today, and hopefully I'm not too long on this, we're going to be talking about Terra, Solana, Avalanche, Binance, Polkadot, SHIBA INU. So let's just jump in right now, and we're going to start off with Terra Luna. And right now, Terra Luna is a layer 1, as we just mentioned, top 7, coming in at a $33 billion market cap. So we have a layer 1 right now that is in a nice steady uptrend. Terra Luna has been on a great uptrend since July. And even as of right now, in the past couple, I'd say, weeks, Terra has just been doing what opposite of what the current market has been doing. Bitcoin's been going down, but as you can see here, technically, we set a new all-time high on Terra back right here just about 3 days ago. But what we're really doing is retesting this previous all-time high right here. So our previous all-time high was $103.85. Then we just recently hit about $104.90. So we approached the red zone right here, as in we were trying to break through this resistance. So we hit a major resistance, and it seems like as if right now Luna is on a mission to get into a new price discovery phase and break through this resistance that we just set here of around $105 right now. So it's been on a bit of a cool down the past couple days, coming right back down to $88, but nevertheless Luna is on a strong uptrend and has been doing so for since last summer. Even coming down here, if we were to talk about a support zone right now for Luna, this zone right here, well, let me just bring this up a bit. Around this zone right here, around, let's say, $44 to $50 is a very, well, at least has a couple touches on this zone right here for support. But if we were to look for a breakdown of Luna, it could possibly come back down to these levels, but we're going to pull out our fibs to get a more clear picture, because that is a pretty steep drop. But right now, a good support zone for Luna is $50, but as of right now it's trading at 88, so that is a pretty big disparity. But let's pull out our fib levels so we can also see, where are going to be some key zones, and we're going to briefly talk about why Luna has been doing the opposite of what Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else has been doing. Most of the market has been going down, while Terra Luna is approaching new all-time highs. And the reason for that has to do with their DeFi. So I'm going to take us over here to DeFi Llama. We're doing this a little bit different. We're also going to be looking at trading view charts, but we're also going to look at the DeFi Llama charts, or at least the data here, so we can get an idea on why certain cryptos are performing well. But right now, as you see here, DeFi Llama is a DeFi tracking website, and it tracks all of the cryptocurrencies, how much value there's locked within that cryptocurrency worth of money. So as you see here, Terra Luna ranks number 2, and it has a total value locked of $25 billion. And they have just been going up, for the past couple months. But this has a lot to do with their DeFi. Their value locked has been increasing at a rapid pace, and even right now, you know, they're hitting new all-time highs on their value locked. A lot of this has to do with Luna's stablecoin, the UST. If we come to CoinMarketCap, you'll see here UST is ranked at number 14, and it has a $14.6 billion market cap. What the UST is, US dollar Terra, that is a decentralized stablecoin, and it is the biggest decentralized stablecoin in cryptocurrency as of right now. You can see here, if we go to just the top 10, you'll see Tether right here at 80 billion, USDC coin at 52 billion, then you have Binance USD at 18 billion, and then right here you have Luna. Or Terra UST at 14.6. The difference is what I just mentioned. UST is the biggest, I repeat, the biggest decentralized stablecoin, while Binance USD, USDC coin, and Tether, they're all centralized stablecoins. So it's a pretty big deal right now, at least in the DeFi world. Luna's been doing a lot of different. A lot of great things on their ecosystem. Anchor Protocol is another big project under their ecosystem where they give a pretty robust APY. You could do a little bit more research on Luna and how their stablecoin works, because there are burning mechanisms in it. But as of right now, just to reiterate, we've been on a nice and steady uptrend with Luna since the summer. If I just pull back that trend line. Pretty nice upwards mobility with Luna coming out. So rejected at this area of resistance at $105, and now it's just come back down. So we're looking at around the point. If we pull out our fib levels, I'm going to do this real quick again. Let me just show you. We're going to go from the swing high that we had up here back in December down here to the lows of right here, January-ish. Swing high to swing low, and we're getting these numbers right here. So as you can see, we just got rejected here. Could not pass $105, and it looks like, you know, we are on a little bit of a downtrend, just a short-term one, loss of momentum, and I'm looking at that $80 level at the 0.618 to be hit at some point with this trend right here with Luna. If we were to pull out the oscillators real quick, and we're just going to do the daily for the sake of the time. If we were to pull out the oscillators right now, we could see that on the stochastic, we're about to form our, just highlight that there, we're about to form our trough zone. So we still have maybe a couple days or a week to enter down in this territory right here. So look out for that. But you know, all in all, Luna is in an uptrend. We've had the signs of an uptrend right now. We've had higher highs and higher lows, and I'm going to show you right here with Luna. We've made a higher high. Whoops, my bad. We've made a higher high here, higher low, higher high here, higher low. So the uptrend is still intact, and I know I have a whole bunch of lines scribbled on here, some of these right now. So keep that in mind, family, that Luna is on a serious uptrend. A lot has to do with its DeFi. It is becoming, is panning out to be the biggest layer one in terms of value locked right under Ethereum. It ranks number 2 right now in terms of value locked. And for people that do not know what layer one cryptocurrency is, just know that a layer one cryptocurrency is a cryptocurrency that is away from Ethereum, that is not on the Ethereum chain. It's its own chain. It has its own language. I'm not a coder or programmer, but just for some basic info, those are what layer ones are. So outside of Ethereum, you have this crypto Luna that has a lot of value locked, and it is growing at a rapid rate right now. So, you know, look for Luna to kind of grind right here at this resistance level of $100 to $105. We could be moving a bit sideways, but if we go back to the oscillators, one thing I want to look at is the relative strength index right here. As you can see right here, we were overbought, getting heated, and now we're kind of cooling down right now. Outside of the 70, so if we're above the 70, that means we're getting pretty heated, pretty overbought right here in this channel. But if we're below this 30 right here on the RSI, like down in this zone, that means we're very oversold and market conditions are not looking so nice, pretty stagnant, and they're really sluggish and turning down. So Luna losing some momentum, but still has marked a higher high and a higher low. Will it hit new all-time highs? It still depends on the overall market conditions, because if Bitcoin sinks, about 10-20%, I'd expect the force of Bitcoin to bring down the market as well. But still, Luna is a very, very strong layer one, gearing up to be a very, very big DeFi player, as it already is right now. But yeah, Luna's doing some great things. So we're going to get a point of control real quick on the VPVR. As you see here with Luna, a lot of interaction, at least since November-ish of last year, has been occurring right here at this $65 point. So there's been a good amount of interaction at $65 for the past 4 or 5 months. We have a lot of action at that level. So keep in mind now that taking positions on Luna at these levels is high. We're close to the previous all-time high, and there's a little bit more downside than there is upside as we're trying to battle past this resistance of this previous all-time high that we just marked. So that's Luna right now. I'm looking to see Luna at around 70 to $80 if we continue this little loss of momentum. But keep in mind also that we have major support coming down here at $50 Luna, I'd say right now, technically. $48, $49. Let's just say $50 is a good zone for Luna right now, holding a support. You see here we've tested this a couple times, could not quite break past 43, but that we just had a wick down there. But we held around this $58 area, and we just taken off from there. So that is Terra Luna, big DeFi blue chip. Definitely keep that on your radar as it continues to do amazing things. Now next, that was Luna. Solana, and I'm gonna go right here to the live stream right now. Hey, can you send, or the comment section, hey, can I send you my ref link for the AVAX project? No thank you, Lev. If you have any questions about the charts, just drop them in the chat. I will periodically look and answer some questions. So let's talk about Solana, and quite different than Luna, way quite different. The charts are doing two opposite things. As a matter of fact, Luna has been in a big downtrend, like most of the market, since November. A lot of these charts are going to look like this with the downtrend since November, because that was the last big wave of momentum in crypto. There'll definitely be many more in the future, but as of right now, that is not happening. So we set new all-time highs with Solana right here. $260 is the all-time high for Solana. Since then, we've been sinking down to our current price of $80. Now, the good thing is, it seems as if, Solana, we're finding some support right here at around this $75 to $80 mark. And as you can see over here, back during August, late summer, around the late August, this was a resistance before we taken off to new all-time highs for Solana at $75, and we just taken off from there. And now, over 7 months later, or about 7 months later, we are now back at these levels that we were in August, and it seems as if we are holding this as a support, because we're kind of moving sideways from here. $75, $70 to $75 would be a critical range for Solana to hold as it continues to trend down, but now it just seems like as if it is moving a little bit more sideways. But It's kind of a slow bleed because we're still dropping in price, but it hasn't been anything so drastic. And just to highlight this trend here, go right here, you can see we have a nice descending channel here, loss of price. Kind of looks like we're balanced. It looks like we are moving sideways from this point at around the $75 to $80 level. We could break out of this downtrend and just move sideways more, or we could, just slowly go on with the trend and just continue to sink down. A lot of this is going to also depend on external factors, the war in Ukraine and Russia, and these really, I like to call them hyper-economic sanctions, are definitely something the market does not like. And this is all asset markets, not just crypto, but crypto is holding nice, at least steady right now. But just keep in mind, family, a lot of what's happening right now also with crypto is dealing with external factors that are playing a role. So just keep that in mind. So let's look at the oscillators for Solana. We're in a downtrend. Looks like we found some support at $70, $75. So let's look at those oscillators. And as you can see here, on the stochastic right here, which measures the volatility a little bit better, because keep in mind with these oscillators that all these price movements move like a wave. Things go up, things go down, things go up, things go down. It's a cyclical cycle. And at least with the stochastic, it measures the wave, the momentum, the wave structure is a little bit better. So, we like to call this here, we're in a peak anytime we're above this blue zone right here. And this is on the stochastic, it's above 80. Anytime we're below the 20 on the stochastic, we'll call that the trough zone, like a wave, because when we crash, we form troughs. And before we form waves, a trough has to occur. So this is, we're heading into that trough zone right now. If we look at the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, things have been kind of flat with Solana. Not much has been happening in terms of the chart, and even right here with the relative strength index, we haven't been seeing much of Solana. As a matter of fact, we have just been at a steady loss of momentum ever since September with Solana. So at least on the RSI, the wave over time has decreased in momentum, and if we continue to do this and get rejected here, we're just gonna have the same momentum that we're having with Solana, which is sluggish. Nothing is sparking that wave just yet. This is crypto, so anything can happen at any given time. But as of right now, market conditions overall are pretty sluggish. If we were to we'll bring up the fear and greed index at the end, but let's talk about some key levels for Solana. I'm going to pull out the Fibonacci levels right now. So we're going to go ahead and just get this a little bit better. There we go. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take it from our all-time high of $261, bring it down to right here, a good swing low, right around here, $75. And we're just trudging along this red zone. So upon a change of sentiment in the market, once more positive momentum and positive feelings, people get euphoric and excited. They're gonna become millionaires and stuff, or at least dream and hope we're gonna become millionaires, like everybody and myself. But once that positive momentum comes back into the market, Solana over $100 is very likely, because a lot of things are just very down right now. So Solana coming up in at least coming up over 100, trying to test this 0.236 on our fib level at around 119 is likely. But we've just been on a slow bleed down right now, and my lowest, at least next in line for Solana on this downtrend, we're looking at like around right here, where we were at back here during the summer months. So we're going to be looking at that, let's see right here, and this is hardly anything, but this 60 to $65 range right here, or $65 to $70 range right here is what we're looking at, but we're hoping that we can hold around here, these levels for Solana, maybe move sideways for a bit, give time for people to restack and accumulate, because after Ethereum, when we talk about other layer ones, Solana is another layer one, and Solana is not EVM compatible, so they're completely different than Ethereum. They have their own code and their own blockchain and everything. But aside from the NFT market, when we think NFTs, we think of Ethereum. They have the biggest NFT market. After Ethereum, that's going to be Solana. Solana has a very, very robust NFT market. So that is, that is one thing Solana has going. And on top of that, Solana is very big into gaming. A lot of gaming developers that are interested in crypto are building on Solana. So aside from that, speed, NFTs, decentralized DeFi, they have some DeFi, but speed and NFTs is what in gaming, crypto gaming, play to earn is what Solana really, really has going for it. And look to hear about those narratives, going forward with crypto, because the gaming metaverse wave, that there will be another one. There will be some more in the future. VPVR, where are we getting our point of control? Where are we getting a lot of buying from, or a lot of price action happening right now? A lot of price action since July of last year. I'm gonna just delete some of these right now, just these drawings to make it a little bit more clear. A lot of the price interaction with Solana has been at around $145, $160. So that's where a lot of the buying, or at least a lot of price recognition, has been happening at for Solana. As you can see here, we've been through that range a pretty decent amount of times. But if we were to come back here, $33 before the boom was the point of control. That was before the, that was after the Elon crash. But as of right now, going back since the summer, you were well below the point of control. And I'm going to say that again, point of control as where most of the buying, selling, a lot of the price interaction has occurred. We've seen Solana go between $140 to $160 pretty frequently. There has been a lot of buying, selling, interaction at that level. As of right now, from the point of control, we are down 43% from that point of control. So, once we get positive news, positive momentum, Solana's going to change the world, there's going to be all these great things, and, we get another hype wave, another euphoric wave, we can expect to see Solana back over 100, even hitting 140 at some point once that positive momentum comes. So that is something to keep a lookout for at Solana. Now our next one, hopefully I'm not going too long here. Let's look at the comments. We're going to kind of speed it up. All right. Let's see what we have here. Live from DMV. What is your thoughts on GRT and OXT, major players of Web3? Will become Web3 PR arc. All right, I'm going to go over that PR arc. We're going to take a look at GRT and OXT briefly at the end, so I will definitely come back to that. Let's move on to Avalanche. So Avalanche, same thing. Big downtrend. We're going to just move it a little fast. I don't want to keep anybody here too long. Big downtrend, not actually as severe as we've seen with Solana, but it's been a steady downtrend with Avalanche right now, as you can see here. And it seems like with Avalanche, we are as well kind of starting to coil just a bit and maybe possibly find a nice little baseline of support here at around $60 to $65. Around that range right here is, I'm going to enlarge this, there we go. So, we're in this, we've been in this downtrend since December, like most of the market. And we've been doing something like this, kind of breaking in here, in this range. We haven't been quite breaking this down sloping resistance that we've had. And we have a big resistance on Avalanche at $100 right now. So support, especially if we look at the VPVR, where a lot of the buying has happened, it kind of falls in line with where the support zone is at right now. So that's at around $69, $70. That's a pretty recognized range right here. Is that $65, $70 level, which is where we're at right now. That is turning out to be a very big point of control for the past almost a year now, going into April next month. A lot of action from $60 to $65. There's been a lot of price recognition at these levels right here. We've had quite a few touches and interactions on that level, but the point of control for Avalanche, $65 to $70 we're looking at, so we're pretty much right close to about there. We're at $70 right now and 30 cents as of this video. But yeah, keep that in mind. A good point of control where a lot of price recognition has happened for Avalanche has been at this $65, $70 range. And if we were to pull out some fib levels right now, let me get rid of this point of control. Oops. There we go. If we were to look at some fib levels right now, let's take it from the all-time high here. We set at $146, and that was on November 21st. Then we hit a low here our swing low here on January 22nd. And as you can see here, the 0.236 right now for key levels is at $75. So we've been under that, and if we're getting under that, just know that we could even come down to this right here, this zone right here at around 53. But it seems as if right now, for support, we are kind of like right around here, right around this $68 to $75 zone. So that's what I'm looking at with Avalanche right now. If we're to pull out some oscillators, we're going to do the dailies. Many things are going to, at least on the stochastic, we're going to be forming our troughs. So, we've had a loss in price movement onto the upside. And we're losing that positive momentum that wants to push price up. We've been going down, but the good news is that we are in the low zone, the trough zone. We like to see trough zones on oscillators. We really do. So that's with the stochastic. On the MACD also. Wait, whoops, don't do that. But on the MACD, we're also in that trough zone. So you see it, we're below on our red histograms right here. So below the zero into the negative, so we have some red bars on there. These are pretty, these are the levels where we like to look at buying. And we're gonna, right after AVAX, we're gonna just bring up the Fear and Greed Index. Actually, no, we'll do that at the end. We're gonna move on with DOT, Doge, and SHIB. But let's take a look at the RSI for Avalanche right now. Not much happening. It is below the 50. Anytime we're below the 50. Even below, especially below the 40, it's pretty bearish, at least a bearish control zone, meaning that there's not so much positive hype and momentum on Avalanche. It's like this with a lot of cryptocurrencies, but I just know that there's not a lot of sediment moving into the market to push prices forward, especially when we get a little down. Key levels I look at right now, $75. $100 is going to be a really big resistance for Avalanche, as you can see here. We haven't been over $100 since the beginning of the year, so that will mark a really big resistance for Avalanche. But right now, it seems like the market's a little bit crabby, as in we're going kind of sideways, and we're not really bearish, but we're definitely not bullish. I'd say we're still a little bit more bearish than bullish. There's still not a lot of really euphoric sentiment in the market at all. So keep that in mind. Avalanche in a downtrend, big resistance at $100, point of control looking at $65, $70, where a lot of price buying and selling has happened, so we are close to those levels, and let's move on. That's Avalanche. So DOT, Polkadot, yeah, Polkadot almost looks like Cardano's chart in a sense, where it's, but unlike Cardano, they've been on a big downtrend since the summer. But like everything else, Cardano hit a new all-time high of $55 back here during November. Ever since we had that peak, we've been slumping, and we've had a pretty big retrace on this right so far. 74%, as of right now, 67% with current prices. But as you can see here, very, very big downtrend, pretty steep actually. Avalanche's wasn't as steep, but this is kind of looking like Solana's and Cardano's. It's a pretty steep downtrend, and we're just kind of breaking out of that right now. But we'll see. We still have yet to see. We still have yet to see, if we're going to sink further in price. But let's just going to draw this right here. Let's get this channel. There we go. As you can see here, we've pretty much broken out of this downtrend, but it's like a descending wedge in a sense. But as you can see here, I'm going to refresh this to make it bigger. Okay, let's do that right here. So this is DOT. DOT right now, is as of right now, it's trading at around like $17.97. But if I refresh this, make it a little bit bigger, you can see here that we've pretty much come out of this downtrend, and we're starting, like everything else, just to consolidate, move a little bit sideways. We have a resistance here of around $23.30 is going to be our local resistance for right now, and this is what DOT is looking like. DOT, another layer 1, although their smart contract in DeFi is a little bit stagnant right now, but they're still, they say DOT's a layer 0, I'm sorry, but they're still, they're still building out their ecosystem right now. So DOT's been very, very sluggish, but as you can see here, we're kind of moving into this range of support and resistance. So we're looking at 15. Well, let me see. We went down here to $14, but most of the action has been around $15.50 to 20. Let's say like $21, around that range. We're kind of squeezing in this range right now. And if we were to look at the oscillators, stochastic has this move as almost is coming out to crest, so that's interesting. There's been a little bit of very hardly any, but a little bit of price push up on this, but not enough to bring it right back up to past 30 or anything. Like mostly everything right now, even on their RSI, they've been pretty flat with their momentum. Even if you look at their RSI right here, they have not, at least the momentum for Polkadot, RSI hasn't been oversold since November 4th. Like most of the market, you're going to notice that most of the crypto market's on a big cool down off of a major downtrend, and now just kind of tattling along a little sideways right now. So I'm going to bring out some key levels for Polkadot right now. And we're going to take it from our last swing high to swing low. Actually, we can do it with this, because we're still trying to find lows, but this is a swing high to swing low right here as well. You're going to notice that if I were to bring out a point of control as we're all the buying and selling, a lot of it has happened. You're going to see here that since within a year's time, $28 has been a key level for Polkadot right now. So you'll see here that we have touches through this green line. As you can see, these bars right here represent volume on the side. This is called visible range, but you'll see that we have a nice amount of touches and interaction at that level. So $28 is where a lot of the buying and selling has occurred since last year, February, and even as from right now, we're 35% below the point of control. So keep that in mind. Let me just pull out some fibs real quick, and then we're gonna get onto our dog coins, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. Swing high to swing low. We hit a high up here of around $55, and we hit a low here of $14. My goodness. So let me remove this right here. Let me get rid of this point of control. Okay. All right. Oh wait, and I'm gonna delete the fib levels. There we go. Just the point of control. There we go. So we're looking, we're looking for, on a bounce, we really want to see Polkadot hitting $23.76, coming back to this 0.236, but we are below that. We are in the red zone, so we've had a steep retrace, 70% plus. But really, a lot of these cryptos, this 0.236, since we're still technically trying to find bottoms, we're gonna be in that zone right there. So it's looking like we're gonna just keep on stagnating, moving forward sideways, possibly for a bit until we get positive euphoria back into the market. People feeling more comfortable, investor confidence. We're looking for that momentum to hit back in the market, so a lot of these charts can reverse their trajectory and go back to the upside. But right now there is not much upside right now with things. Things are really crowdish. So let's move on to Dogecoin. Dogecoin, Doge. I mean, aside from the stable coins that are in the top 10, because they're stable coins, Dogecoin would be our next. Ranking at number 13 at 14.9 billion. Let's just say $15 billion right now for Doge. Wait, that's Shiba. Let me go back to Doge. Let's see here. I'm going back to the comments. Let me see here. What's your thoughts on Algorand? Algo player earned a drone racing league. That is interesting. I actually seen that in the news. Very, very innovative and progressive. Algorand, another layer 1. They're getting into some very interesting things. And I myself, I fly drones. I actually have my Part 107 license. I thought that was very intriguing. Algorand's pretty underrated, but I'm noticing that they're getting, they're getting into different sporting and e-sporting events, especially with drones, and they're starting to sponsor different things. So that's always a good thing to see. If you notice, even with Crypto.com, you're going to start seeing that they're sponsoring commercials, teams. They have a Staples Center Arena. But once you see these projects and these cryptos start tagging their name on something, that's a great sign of adoption and utilization. So that's really good right there. So let's move on to Dogecoin, and then we're going to do SHIB, and then we're going to go over some quick ones from the audience, and then we're going to wrap it up. I know this has been a little bit long, but Doge, the main thing, Doge is a meme coin, a social token meme coin, call it what you want, but it is a social token meme coin. What we want to look for with these meme coins, because really Doge had this big explosion back here in May before the Elon crash of last year, and ever since then has been going down for years straight. The main thing we want to look for with these coins, with these social tokens, is we want to look for areas and periods where things are moving sideways. As it's starting to form right now with Doge. As you can see here, we've had a prolonged period of sideways movement for a couple months, and we have exploded. Come back here. Wow, it's exploded so much. I gotta really turn this off real quick because it just looks ridiculous. Okay, so we have that area right here moving sideways for a long time, even right here. Moving sideways, and bam, boom, it's up. And even way back here, we are moving sideways for a very long time, even here, before we have that next major move in. With these dog tokens, these meme coins, this is what it is, this extreme face melting volatility and gains, followed by, and it's short-lived, very short-lived, followed by, a very, very cold winter that's way longer than the boom cycle of the coin. So right now, big downtrend with Dogecoin. It's looking like it has not surpassed 10 cents. So it's looking like 10 cents actually. is a pretty nice, I wouldn't call it out yet, but looking like almost a decent, or not a decent, but a support level for Doge is 10 cents. And you know, if we look at this from a bigger time perspective, it's almost as if, you know, we're turning this big resistance here, where back then it was, last year was 9 cents to 9 to 10 cents. So we're turning that big resistance over in this time period here, and we want to try to flip this into support. So notice how we have not gone past 10 cents. So that's Dogecoin right now. And if we were to look at the oscillators, you know, it's gonna do, it's this thing, it's gonna have periods where it's up, down, but the overall trend is very flat, and there has not been much excitement with Doge. It's been silent. But keep in mind, crypto family, when things don't get talked about in crypto and they just kind of, you know, move sideways and it gets boring, those are times that you should be looking. I'm not saying get into Doge right now or not, but I'm just saying look for when the periods of a prolonged movement of just not doing much, it's going sideways. I'll look at those periods for opportunities right there. So, you know, the whole goal with crypto is we want to get into things before the wave takes off. We don't want to get in on top of the wave, you know, especially if it's like surfing. You can't get in really, you don't want to get on the top of the wave. You know, you want to get in at the bottom and ride it to the top. That's the point. Crypto is just like surfing. So even on the RSI, it just hasn't been really oversold since August of 2021. It has not been doing much with Doge, but we could be approaching a key level, and especially psychological level, of a 10 cent support. If I were to draw a fib level on this and plot our VPVR real quick, a lot of accumulation for Doge in general has happened at below 1 cent. But for the past, before the major boom, so almost for the past year, we've been seeing that this 23 cent, 27 cent level, these have been very good, or let's just say 25 cent level. This has been a pretty good area for people buying Doge. It's had a couple recognitions over here, a couple interactions, but there has been a lot of buying and selling, a lot of good price interaction at a 25 cent Doge, which is about 150% from these levels close to, back up to there. So that's Doge right now. Look for prolonged periods of sideways movement. Right now, 25 cents is the point of control. And from that point of control, you know, we are down 58% from there. So keep that in mind, but still, don't be fooled. You know, we are still in a slow bleed downtrend. You know, even though looks like we're starting to move a little bit sideways. You know, this is a slow bleeding, slow moving downtrend right here. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind right now. It just seems as if we are close to, you know, hitting that 10 cent support. So keep that in mind with Doge. 10 cent support is what we're looking for right now. Still in a downtrend. Really, the thing with Doge, we're just really looking for that 10 cent support, and we're looking for you know, a long, steady period of sideways movement, which is starting to gear up. So it still could be a while before we get any euphoria and hype with Doge. So that's Doge. Let's move on to Doge's baby, little baby Shiba Inu. I love Shiba Inus. I'm going to the YouTube comments. You see here, I think Doge would be crypto payment for Starlink processing. Yeah. As your Tesla is probably. Yeah. Doge is interesting, you know, because Elon Musk, he still has his he's still interested in Dogecoin, so he still has some plans for it. And Doge is gonna, I could see Doge coming into gaming to some sort. Starlink being used in Ukraine, that is very interesting right there. All right, family, our last one, because I know this has been a pretty long live stream. I try to keep them short, but it's very hard to keep these things short. Our Shiba Inu, much like Doge, baby Shiba Inu, we are looking for these periods of prolonged sideways movements, because you see here we move forever, we'll move sideways forever, then we'll go up for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and then it's just back to the winter with these social meme tokens. So SHIBA ranks right now number 15 aside from the stable coins at 12 billion, so it still has a lot of that value that it's had, but it's nothing like the 30 billion that we've seen at the hype of it. Whoops, that's Doge. Nothing like the 30 billion that we've seen at the euphoric hype, the euphoric peak of it. So that was interesting. But right now, real quick with SHIBA. SHIBA, much like Doge, big, massive volatility to the upside, followed by a nice winter period. And you know, we have this. Technical here, let's just do the wicks, but we want to keep all of that action right here. There we go. Get some touches here. There we go. But yeah, we've been we're starting to move sideways with SHIBA INU right now. You know, we have pretty nice support of 2,000, because you know these are fractions of a penny how this is denominated, but yeah, 2,000 for SHIB is where it seems to be holding for support. Looks like we're starting to come out of this sloping downtrend, moving sideways, you know, but still keeping this range right here. You know, very interesting to see right now. I'm hoping, well not hoping, but I'm looking for SHIBA INU to hold above that 2,000 right now and where it's at. And if you notice, you know, a lot of the accumulation for most of the SHIB's period has happened before that pre-metaverse, pre-Doge, pre-Dogcoin boom. But you know, since then, so after that, you know, we have been that $2,800, or not $2,800, this 2,900 area has been key. So yeah, around 2,900 SHIBTOSHIs, whatever you want to call them. I'm still not even too sure what you call the denomination of SHIB, but 2,800, 2,900 is where a lot of people have been buying, and a lot of interaction has happened with SHIB. You can see here back in October, we hit it here, came down past it, came right back to it, now we're down past it. And upon positive settlement with SHIB, I'm looking for it to be back at that 2,800 SHIBTOSHI right there. And not much to see on the downtrend, or I'm sorry, on the oscillators. Right now it's in the trough zone, so we may get a spike up, you know, but I'd say that there's nothing that's going to be setting new all-time highs or anything just of yet, you know. 3,000 to 3,500 is a big resistance for SHIB, so we're going to put that right here, right now, as a resistance. But SHIB moving sideways, starting to consolidate, is what I'd say. That is it right now, family. Let's just go back to the comments. Nothing much. We're going to just pull up the fear and greed index real quick on out. As you can see here, extreme fear, extreme fear, extreme fear. Last month we were neutral. But let's take a look at the max. As you can see here, we are in these levels of fear. You know, I love this saying, we love to buy in fear and sell in greed. Much easier said than done, because a lot of it is a play on your emotions. But, you know, looking at especially when we are extremely fearful, looking at these levels are not bad. Just know that we will become greedy at some point, again, in the cycle. We are just moving like with all cycles. We are in the fear stages. We've been neutral and fearful, but at some point we will flip back to greed. But this is when we want to look at the coins, what do we want to be buying? What do we want to be accumulating right now, so we can get in when it's fearful and then ride that wave up to the greediness, and then, you know, and then start thinking like, okay, well, maybe we should take off some, maybe we should sell some, who knows? But we like to buy in fear, sell in greed. I like to keep that as a simple mantra to remember. But that is it, family. I really appreciate you being here right now, for everybody that's tuned in. And we will be back next Sunday. It's a little bit lengthy, but much peace, love, health, and